It's a male pussy.
Oh, I thought it was pets.
Hello and welcome to the Zach and Tony Show.
Hi.
Hi. Zach and Tony podcast. Yeah, we snuck up on him there. Got to hear Mike say pussy.
Did we? Did we get that?
Great.
Yes.
Great start.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The guests today are the cast, the two-person cast of Mike Mother.
And the single creator of My Mother, right?
That is correct.
Solo creator.
Jessica Ann,
Hello?
the solo creator and main cast member. Or
Star.
Star. Yeah, is that the
No,
word we use?
We're
No.
equal.
We're co-stars.
We're co-stars.
Sure.
Well,
yeah.
we'll get to you.
But
Yeah.
it's mostly
Yeah.
mostly just gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even say I'm the creator anymore. Mike Hamilton did so much with his creative spirit and his deep well of love and generosity.
Deep well. Anyway, I guess I'll take this from here while Tony runs some adjustments. We also have Mike Hamilton, the co-star of Mike Mother.
Yes.
And longtime friend.
Yeah, we've known him for, I guess, I don't know,
10 years.
10 years. Too long.
Probably, 11 years.
Far too long.
Oof.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tell us about Mike Mother. Open up about it. What don't we know?
Okay.
I think I know quite a bit. I just want to, before you get started, I think
Yeah?
just from reading, although reading about it, although there's a lot that the way that they describe in their reviews of Mike Mother leaves a lot open to interpretation. But
Right.
yeah, I want your synopsis first.
Wait, but what do you know? That's interesting.
So the way that I read
yes.
the reviews is that it's essentially, first of all, I've never read Night Mother,
Oof.
which is a play, right? But also, does that have anything to do with Kurt Vonnegut's Mother Night? Because I know that that's a book.
I have wondered that, but I've never read the Vonnegut thing.
Neither have I, but I just
Nor have I.
I just went into a big Vonnegut phase recently. Anyways,
Wait, did you wonder whether or not Mike Mother is based off of Night Mother and you're the writer of...
Oh no.
I was super
I
confused.
took more notes than Tony.
I'm sorry.
No,
Oh,
I
man.
made that noise because we have been careful about saying Night Mother
Oh, okay.
because apparently Marsha Norman is insane and like will sue our ass.
Oh, fuck.
So
yeah, especially
like,
if you call her insane.
yeah.
Oh,
All right, so
Uh,
it has
yeah.
nothing to do with that then,
Or
Well, it's
her sanity,
or her sanity.
her
I'm
mental
sure
health.
She's plenty
She's a lovely
lovely, you know, with some tea and.
Whatever her name is, I'm
Whatever.
sure she's a lovely human being.
Mm-hmm,
It's a gentle influence.
Yes, it's inspired
Okay.
by.
And that's not even what I was going to say, because what I really wanted to get out was that it is essentially about mental abuse, right? But it's also about memory and what is actually reality and what is actually, say, a dream or something along those lines, which I've talked a lot about with my girlfriend. Because she seems to have these intense memories or vague dreams, kind of whatever. It's almost as if, you know, she kind of summons this type of sensation, and she can't decipher any longer what's actually true and what's actually a memory. And that's kind of what I gathered from just what I read. It's interesting.
Yeah.
How close is he?
Yeah, no, that's spot on.
Yeah, spot
Okay.
on. Definitely a very strong component of things.
Well, yeah, that's very interesting. I hope that I didn't stomp all over what you were going to
Well,
talk about, but...
Before they actually give the secrets away, I want to read this because I'm actually pretty proud
No
of
secrets.
Mike
No
here.
secrets. People see it.
No.
Just tease them.
This was something that was written about you two. Hamilton proves himself to be a sturdy counterweight to Anne's manic performance, reining the show in from totally bizarre to evocatively chaotic. Anne, meanwhile, seems to bring her powerful poetic script to life with bolts of lightning.
Yeah.
Audience members can't help but chase after the actress as she wades through whether her experiences are real or imagined. Equal parts psychological thriller, live action film, and genre-bending performance.
Damn.
Uh,
that is pretty solid review.
Yeah, it's also it's pretty cool to hear your friends talk about it in that
Starting
way.
to get pretty sweaty.
Can we get a writing credit on that?
Uh,
Time out?
Yeah, it
Just
was
say
Time
Time Out
Out.
Chicago.
Time Out Chicago, right. And they gave you 4.5 stars or something like that. 4.5 stars
Out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, out of
Kind.
20, so not.
Not actually as good as you think.
Yeah, it's hard to get 20 stars though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and give your synopsis of the show.
Or your experience working together, since I may have just blew your
Could you
synopsis
guys
wide open.
just talk?
Already?
I mean,
Okay, so Mike Mother
yes.
is a show about one specific experience from my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the circumstances surrounding my mother's cancer. When I was 16, she told me she had cancer and that she was dying and she had 1 more year to live and she wasn't going to treat the cancer. And in a year, she would have an amazing funeral and I'd be a star and I'd have a front row seat at the funeral. And it was this really happy promise that she gave me. And then the year happened and all hell broke loose.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
Dun 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 is right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's something, do we find out? I mean, hell is what we live in, I suppose, in the play? On some level?
Well, I mean, it's also a lot of fun.
I also read that it's very humorous, especially to begin with. I mean, he can't not be funny, so.
Exactly.
As far as I know. And from what I've seen of you, you're also very charming and silly as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Mike, therein plays several different characters, and I'm right? No, yes or no? And one of them being kind of a motherly figure within the show.
A bit, yeah, definitely. Like it dabbles into that just a little bit, but as far as like the fun and all that stuff, Josh Matthews was our director, who's this wonderful person, performer, director, artist, clown, and he did a fantastic job of pulling this information and pulling this story that Jessica had to tell out of her, and then framing it in a very multifaceted way of sharing this story, and a lot of it is very fun and energetic and lighthearted, hopeful, and
Playful.
yeah, and it's that juxtaposes very well, I think, with the weight of Jessica's true story.
Yeah.
And as far as characters go, it's tough. It's always tough. It's at the Neo-Futurists, which is a theater that's been going, for 25 years now.
Yeah, we should mention that. Thank you.
Yeah, no. It's this fantastic company, but they do non-illusory theater, which it can be tough to explain, but it is very much dealing in the truth of the moment and the truth of the people who are on stage. So there are interesting limitations on as far as someone playing a character or going deep into playing a different role. We still ultimately are Jessica, Ann, and Mike on stage, even if we temporarily inhabit different personas.
So when you do that, you're essentially Mike or Jessica Ann as
Right.
so-and-so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at times Mike will stand in as Mother, but
okay.
he's always Mike. And sometimes he'll stand in as audience member or advocate for the audience or
Gotcha.
wild boar.
Yeah, we both of us have been to the Neo-Futurarium several times.
Yep.
Some to see main stages, sometimes to see Too Much Light, which Mike has a shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
Too Much Light Makes the Baby Go Blind, which runs every weekend for all eternity, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much 50 weeks out of the
Yeah.
year.
Yep. That bitch.
You are a Neo-Futurist, so you're in it as a rotating kind of cast member, right?
Well, I'm an alum, so
okay.
I rotated in and out from 2006 to 2012.
Dang,
Okay.
6 years.
Yeah. 6 big ones.
God, that
That's a lot.
Too Much Light Makes the Baby Go Blind is the most daunting show I've ever had the chance to see and try. And like usually I see a show and one of my first things is, oh, I could do that, or I can't do that, or that looks fun, or that doesn't look fun. Too Much Light looks. It's
like
fun
all
for
of
an
those
audience
things.
member. It's fun for an audience member, but I would never want to do it. The work that has to be put into it every week, it has to be oh god, it has to be daunting. I don't that we've already used that word. Extraordinarily immense amount of work. Constantly writing, constantly acting, constantly performing. Is it fun? And be honest, is it fun for the years that you put into it, or and be honest?
Were you
know,
ready? Or
you
were
have to be honest.
Were you ready to go by 6 years, or were you like?
It's a long time
Yeah,
to be
it's a
doing
long
that.
time.
I was definitely ready to go, but it wasn't because I was bored or not challenged by the weekly, what
Grind.
is it? Triage
Yeah.
theater.
Way better word.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like
You
even-
take your sedatives and you hit the road.
And you go back to too much lighter,
Yeah,
right?
I want 1, 2 syllables tops. You take your fancy ass French words.
Triage is 2 syllables.
Triage.
Triage.
But it's like 2 words, right? Tree, age.
Oh.
So basically, you were incredibly bored by.
No, that's not what you were saying.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's all a blur. It got, but I think leaving, the decision to leave was, well, one, I was going to grad school, and I was like, I can't be in grad school and write these plays every week. And then also, like any company, it got to the point where the company could continue to serve me, but I felt like I could no longer serve the company. Like, I could start, recycling all my old kinds of Too Much Light plays and just keep doing it and riding the mechanical bull. But I felt like for Too Much Light proper, I was fresh out of new things. I just felt like it was my time to go, but I still wanted to very much stay engaged as a local alum and think about, like my big primetime show that I had been marinating over.
Of course.
And like teaching and
Yeah, grad schooling and
grad schooling.
all of that stuff. What is your favorite one that you did, or do you have a favorite one that you wrote?
From Too Much Light?
From Too Much Light.
Yeah.
My play that I loved doing the most was called Pen and Ink, which was a play I did with Tim Reed where we were speaking simultaneously and slapping each other, and it was very poetic. And actually that play was like, I think I might have something that could sustain for an hour and 20 minutes. I'm gonna think about language in this way. So when I was getting ready to propose my show, I was like, I need an intense man. Who's that gonna be? Mike Hamilton.
Yeah. Also,
Very
a lot
true.
of intense men. Like our mutual friends, they are very intense people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah.
I
Trevor
would say.
Dawkins also,
Mr. Trevor
just
Dawkins.
actually no,
the
calm,
Neo-Futurist.
calm,
Until
not stressed, just until what? Until he wakes up in the morning. That he attacks every day.
Yep.
That's the way I see it, at least. Yeah, I am also interested in. Every once in a while, me and Mike talk about how we're doing, where we are in our careers, and what we're accomplishing. And it comes down to one of us is usually a little down, right? We're like, I'm not doing enough. I don't know where I want to be in my career. And one of us is usually a little up, right? And I remember it was, now checking back in with you, it was like 6 months ago or 5 months ago. You were like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have anything on the horizon right now. And then I was like, yeah, but you're going to shoot right back up there because it's interesting to see the ebbs and flows. And then you're doing this
As an outside perspective.
as an outside perspective of art, of somebody else's professional artistic career. And I love watching yours because I feel like you have huge jumps. And this seems like one of them.
Everything that I've heard about it is, yeah.
And for you too, Jessica. But
Yeah.
I know.
But
I've known Mike for
10, 11 years, as
yeah.
we've already
Yeah.
discussed.
But I think that's just such a natural situation to find yourself in for this sort of business,
Yeah.
in being an actor or a musician or a performer, or podcast maker, or writer. You work on something, you put everything that you have into it, and it can be extremely difficult. It can be extremely gratifying. and you just invest so much that once you're finished and you close or you publish or you release, then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, well, here I am.
Yeah.
Everything is the same except for the fact that I'm not working on that. And sometimes you then are not working on anything for a period of time. And yeah, it's just that sort of existential ebb and flow of like when you're in it, you're loving it and you're focused and it's so much. And then when there's nothing, you're like, there just leaves this, this.
Oh
this
man,
gap,
I love it though.
this
I love
openness.
that gap for about a day or two, and then
It's nice. It's like, oh man, I earned some
agree.
time off. I earned some
Yeah.
free time, and then all
You
of a
gotta
sudden
earn
you're
it.
like, well, now wait a second.
You
Right.
you can only have so much of a gap before you feel like you're failing your whole family and everyone you know. It's, like,
My problem
it does
is
feel that way.
I have too many things to focus on.
Me too.
Um,
Nowadays, but that's good.
nowadays.
I mean,
Sure, but then I like the way you kind of go about it, Mike, because you focus on acting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I will try and use my time to do open mic comedy or be in a band or do this kind of thing. You know what I mean? And it gets to be I can't focus, which is also why I like the Neo-Futurists, because when you become a company member, you're like, I'm going to write and I'm going to act and then I'm going to do it hard. And for me, I'm like, I kind of do everything and I do it a little bit softer.
You know who also had a problem with that? And you're going to laugh because this is going to be the third time he's been brought up.
Oh,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, damn it. I thought you were going to say Joe Sultana.
No. No. Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he first started gaining success, and he had all these things that he was doing, I was reading this, I was listening to a podcast, and he actually...
This is the third episode Arnold's been brought up.
Yeah.
We love him, I guess.
He went to a therapist, and he just found a way to focus himself in whatever situation he was in. He didn't get into detail about how he did it. He just found a way to put everything else out. And when he started meditating. He started meditating, and he found a way to, when he was doing one of his passions, that was it. He wasn't thinking about anything else. It was just he put all of it out from this time to this time during the day, and that was his focus. So for now, it'd be just think podcasting. Well, for my sake or Zach's sake, it'd be just think podcasting. And he got really good at that, and it was part of the reason why he even became more successful. Obviously, he had his work ethic, but what made him become so successful in so many fields was his ability to compartmentalize and work within those compartments. It was actually very interesting because whatever you might think of the guy, he's an incredibly hardworking, successful guy. So yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Third time on mention on the
third
podcast.
time.
One day he's going to listen.
One day he's going to listen.
And he's going to love us.
We're going to talk about that hard bod, and he's going to be like, oh, I got to meet
these guys are so great.
So, Jessica Ann.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Yes, that is our next question.
We were already talking about twins before we started recording.
Exactly.
Pampas.
We're always talking about Arnold. I don't know why. It's not like...
Dude, I bring him up all the time. And it's random why. I don't know how. I mean, it is.
The first time
random.
was with Logan, and it was about pot and how he smokes pot.
The second time was about how tall he was. Because we were talking about heights of celebrities.
Right.
Of course.
And why wouldn't we?
So, Mike, in closing for you, I told you this before.
This isn't your closing, but
well,
we're going to move on soon.
Yeah, my statement. Okay. You are one of the most talented people. Not successful.
Definitely not.
You need to make some money.
I agree.
But you really are.
Let's reel that one back in.
Successful is all about money. Financially, listen, you got to step it up.
Hey, you are one of the most joyful and happy people that I know, and that's success in my book, my friend.
But you are one of the most talented people I know. And everything I hear about you is that you, powerhouse is the word Mike constantly uses.
You were compared with Thor in the Time Out review. You brought the lightning and the thunder.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look a lot like him too.
And you're also a jack of
or Zeus
many
for the Greeks
trades.
Or whatever.
That's what I hear. As what else I hear, because Jessica Ann, as Mike told me before this podcast, got her master's in fiction,
Yeah.
writing fiction.
Yeah.
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 Which sounds pretty intense.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty daunting. So.
Isn't that weird? I spent 6 years doing non-illusory theater, and then I got a terminal degree in lies.
And then you're like,
and now I'm lying.
you're like, I can't tell the truth anymore.
It hurts.
Done.
Which is as I think you were alluding to earlier in your perception from the reviews is that plays a huge role in the show is that the way that memories can change over time, and when you start to blend what is a true memory and what is fiction and what you're elaborating on and expounding upon.
The Neo-Futurist aesthetic was brought up in a lot of these reviews, and I'm glad they brought that up because it's the Neo-Futurist aesthetic is, I think, what sets Neo-Futurists apart from every other theater. It's very clear. They brought up the static television. I haven't even seen the show, but they brought up the static television. I was like, oh my god, I can see that.
Splashing.
Yeah, I could totally see this. So yeah,
I'm excited. So before, we're going to plug it at the end as well, but Mike Mother runs at the Neo-Futurarium at 5153 North Ashland Avenue up in Andersonville in Chicago, Illinois, all the way through June 4th. But the way that the Neo-Futurist shows tend to work is if it's good, it fucking sells out. So get your tickets as soon as possible.
$20 tickets, $10 with a student ID.
And definitely the last... It is very common, right, Jessica, that the last weekend or last 2 weekends will sell out. So don't wait. Don't procrastinate.
Sure. Yeah. And on Thursdays, there's Koval, I think. Is it Koval? No.
CH Distillery.
CH Distillery has some fancy drinks for you.
Oh, I've been to one of those nights, yeah.
It's also pay what you can. Thursdays are pay what you can.
And
free
booze.
if you're broke, yeah.
Nice.
Why not?
Well, booyah. All right, we're going to move on. Does anyone need a break? You guys want a break or anything?
Pee breaks?
Pee breaks?
All right,
All right, we're going to go straight to our current event for the day, which is...
Tony's guns.
No. The audience can't see that.
Yeah, they can hear them.
It's better that they don't.
Oh, look at those veins.
You see them.
It looks like a placenta.
That's from a girl. Yeah, placenta's what I'm going for.
Finally, a girl said so.
What is gender?
That is our current event. No, it's not.
Moving on.
It's a Canadian boy, a 15-year-old Canadian teenager, discovered the ruins of a lost Mayan city in Mexico's, I'm going to pronounce this as a white boy, Yucatan Peninsula. Is that right?
Well, you had no
Yucatan.
choice.
I believe
Yucatan.
is it Yucatan?
It's totally
Yucatan.
Yucatan. Yes.
With the assistance of Google Maps and a star chart. The way he did it was he noticed that the Mayans, as a civilization, although very good builders and very intellectual, picked weird places to put their cities. They oftentimes weren't near a river or any water source, and they were out in the desert and away from food sources and things like that. And he noticed that it was because they placed them based on constellations. And he noticed one constellation and one star in particular was missing a city, and he used the Canadian Space Exploratory Service or Administration or whatever the hell.
NASA.
Canadian NASA. Exactly. What have they even done?
Yeah.
Nothing. Except for find this city on Earth. I mean,
Well,
right? Isn't that kind of
Toronto?
backwards?
but did he find it?
Yeah.
He found this square-looking object here. I'll pass this around
Oh.
so you guys can see. I would suggest anyone who's listening to just Google it. But he is presenting this study to a Canadian Science fair, I guess I'll say, but it's probably more prestigious than a fair.
A lecture of some sort.
Yeah, some sort of scientific gathering, and they're going to go and search for it. And I just think that's pretty gosh darn neat.
Yeah, so do I. I like the stuff that fascinates me is why would the fascination with the sky is obvious. It's all they had to look at. But why would it makes no sense to build your city or your town around constellations unless there may be a religious reason. But to have no water,
Yeah.
to have no
Seems
food
pretty
source,
silly.
you know, that it constantly you see that there was no the earth was barren in that area. There weren't growing any crops in these specific areas as far as they're able to test.
Well, they're not here anymore, so
it's interesting. It's very interesting, and I get so science fictiony when I hear shit like this. Not aliens. I don't get aliens. I get very like.
You think it was aliens?
No. I think.
Do either of you think it's aliens?
No.
Dealing with ancient alien type stuff?
No.
I want to give human beings the credit. I'm too proud of being a human.
I mean,
like,
what if humans are
human
simply
beings the credit.
transplants? From
Well, that's listen. I can believe anything is plausible. That's probably unlikely. It's anything could happen, but I don't think aliens have anything necessarily to do with it. I just think it's. I like to think that civilization is a little bit older than we tend to think it is, or it's been restarted a couple times.
Yeah.
And we've gathered, not to this degree, but we've gathered certain knowledge and certain knowledge of astronomy.
You're saying the timestamps that we put on things are wrong.
Yes, yes, and slowly but surely, I mean that's kind of being proven correct.
Right.
With everything that's being discovered, and they're moving the date farther back and farther back and farther back from a. It's interesting how history always seemed to match up, especially from like the 1800s to the 1950s. How history matched up kind of neatly with the Bible. Like it was all kind of like wrapped in a bow. Civilization was wrapped in a bow for like 10,000 years ago. That's when civilization began. That number's blown out of the water nowadays. You don't hear civilization began 10,000 years ago. So it's just kind of.
What do you hear?
20,000 years. Yeah, 20,000 years, 15, 20,000 years.
Probably makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because the last thing that I heard was that essentially there were a lot of these civilizations that thrived for quite a while, all of the Mayans, and then the Ice Age occurred.
Yes.
And buried it.
Yeah.
But also kept it because it was an Ice Age.
And then
Froze it.
And then
Absolutely.
dude, I could get so crazy about this stuff. It's a passion of mine, so I'm gonna maybe nip it in the butt.
Unless you guys have anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm no scholar.
Yeah.
And I don't know a lot about.
Please.
No.
Go
Yeah.
on.
I don't
worry.
know.
Everyone who listens to this knows we're just
a
bunch of
assholes
assholes
in a basement.
in Tony's mother's basement, literally.
All 5 people who are gonna listen will go to see Mike Mother, but
Yeah.
My mom, my dad, possibly Zach's parents if they visit. That's 4. And my
4 right
sister.
there. Yep.
I mean, I'm no scholar, but if my tenured position at Harvard University has to do with anything,
We'll get to that.
no, I don't know. I don't know very much about the Mayan civilization, but in my mind, just civilizations in general at that time existed in a place that was rooted far more in faith than science. And when you question why they would put a town or a city or any sort of civilization somewhere away from where food and water is easily accessible, to me it just makes me think that they had such a strong faith in whatever their beliefs were, be it gods or stars or both or however they intertwined, that if this 15-year-old in Canada can like reverse track, if all their cities are placed based on the stars and there isn't one for this star, and then here's some ruins, and it just to me is like, back then you're dealing, life at that time must have been so difficult and so so much different than what we have now.
You just believe anything.
Well,
Really, right?
they also had the science
so easy to
create aqueducts. So
to
there was no food, there
believe.
was no water, but they could create aqueducts. They could create a
Sewage system? Plumbing system.
a simple, whatever the fuck it's called, aqueducts, like a system for water to travel throughout, but simplified as what we know today, but complicated as shit for the 4 of us. We wouldn't know how the hell.
But
they did
also, this is an unconfirmed ruin. We don't know what
It's very true.
We don't know that this was a civilization where people lived for decades. It could have very well been, like a religious vacation place where people would visit for their faith but not live.
Yeah.
Or like
Interesting.
a place to hide if you had to get away.
Yeah.
Or a town that only survived for about 10 to 15, 20 years, and
Right.
Like the Salton Sea.
I went back into the jungle.
Salton Sea.
That's what they.
R.I.P.
That's what they think it is now. Now my memory is being jogged. Is that square that I showed you on the iPad? Is the supposedly what they think, what they're theorizing is that it's the base of a pyramid of some kind.
Ah.
A pyramid. So that means it's like
a burial.
It could have been cemetery or something like that. Yeah, could have been any number of things. But history and science is crazy. Speaking of science, now we're gonna move on to our review.
Wait, we didn't hear what Jessica had to say about the 15-year-old.
Oh.
Wait
a second.
What do you think about this 15-year-old Canadian?
Well, I love that he's 15 and he's making some strong claims. You know?
Good for him.
Good on him.
If you think you see a pyramid, then you saw a pyramid.
Yeah, you crazy.
Take it to the government.
Yeah.
With your poutine and your
Yeah.
trailer park boys.
And your man
What
bun.
else has he got? And your Michael J. Foxes, man
and
buns.
your flannel.
And your great fishing. Great smallmouth fishing. Great northern
But
pikes.
he takes a break from all that glory to look up old forgotten Mayan.
The glory
ruins.
of his fishing. He takes a break from the glory of his daily fishing to find a Mayan ruin.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're being racist towards Canadians.
At the ripe old age of 15.
15. His hormones are crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, probably not his, the nerd.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyways.
nerds.
What does Canadian NASA know anyways?
Speaking of nothing.
So I'm gonna put a
Speaking of nerds. Oh, wait.
Yeah. You take it.
I was gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually you do it, but I was.
But this is your thing.
All right. So speaking of nerds, we're gonna move on to our review segment, and I am going to
We need
review
some music for this.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Dun, dun, dun.
My family and I went to see him last night.
Ooh, how was it?
Very excited.
And he's
Dinner
a
party.
basketball
Excited.
player.
What's that?
He's a basketball player.
You nailed it.
Yeah, actually, tennis, table tennis.
Oh, tennis. Oh,
Table tennis.
Table tennis.
Yeah.
It's a much more scientific game.
Wait, yeah, totally.
Like Forrest Gump. It's ping pong.
Yeah, yeah, table tennis. Same thing. Same.
One
Ping
of the
pong.
same.
Yeah.
One of the same.
Right,
You know,
right?
depending on what country you're in.
So we were super excited to see
Okay,
him
I'm with
because he had because of his skill set, but
Which is?
astrophysics. It's why he's so good at table tennis.
Yeah, he understands.
Physics.
Oh,
Physics,
The
mathematics,
bounce.
astrophysics, astrology. We got the tickets. What we were expecting was a lecture.
This was where?
This was at the Chicago Theater.
Oh, okay.
We were expecting a lecture. We were expecting it to be very, very informative. We were expecting to not understand a lot of things, to want to go home and start to Google stuff and to start to do our own research. Mind's blown a little bit, but his talent from listening to his podcasts and watching him on YouTube is to be able to explain complicated things in a simple way. That's his true talent. So we were ready to get our minds blown, but we didn't know what we bought tickets for. What we bought tickets for was him talking about movies he likes and dislikes and the science in them that makes no sense and the science in them that makes sense. But it was so quick and he was not explaining anything. It was all for laughs. It was almost like a stand-up. It was almost like it was almost not a spoken word, but it was almost like, you know how Henry Rollins goes and explains things in his life, you know, and it's not all about music.
Slam poetry, but
this wasn't
spoken word.
It's not even spoken word. Yeah, I guess so.
Henry Rollins.
It's comedy, but he's just telling stories. He's just a storyteller. That's what Neil deGrasse Tyson did for this. He didn't like Henry Rollins. It wasn't all about music. This wasn't all about science. It was him, telling jokes and and the science
like a
would be
one-man
there.
show type situation.
Yeah, and one-man show, almost, sort of, but he had and behind him was a screen, and he had like a PowerPoint that he
It was
would.
like a lecture.
Yeah, well, that's what we wanted. We wanted the lecture.
More of a lecture.
We wanted more of a. We wanted it to be more of like very informative and very like a college lecture. We wanted.
He was hamming it up.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Well, the audience loved it. The audience in it was either they were already incredibly intelligent, right, and they didn't give a shit because they already knew it, or they were like the Big Bang Theory type of people that were like, "Oh, this is great. He's talking about TV and television." And
because he's also a TV personality.
He is a personality,
he does,
and
science shows for television.
It was that type of nerdy. It wasn't.
He remade Cosmos.
Yes, he did.
Right.
Which great show, fantastic. I love that show.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really confused about who this person is, you should look him up.
Honestly,
he's an interesting person.
And
wait, are you genuinely confused?
I'm not confused, but
yes.
I'm titillated. I'm curious.
So let me give you.
I want to know more.
Let me give you a quick background on him. When he was 12, he ran into Carl Sagan.
This
you know
is
who
part
Carl
of the
Sagan
show?
is, right? No, this is just
basic
knowledge
you're
of him.
Wikipediaing?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
12 or very, very young.
Tonypedia.
He asked Carl Sagan a question at a convention.
Uh-huh.
And Carl Sagan was blown away by the intelligence of him because he's an incredibly intelligent guy. Carl Sagan eventually invited him up to his home in upstate New York, I believe, and had him spend a couple months with him. Yeah,
gross.
No, he hasn't. Gross.
Oh wait, not gross at all.
Not according to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Not according to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
But he spent those couple months with him and his family because he was Neil deGrasse Tyson is a genius, and Carl Sagan recognized that, and he recognized that he also had an ability to be able to speak to people and explain
complicated things
to people, just like Carl Sagan. So when Carl Sagan died, Neil deGrasse Tyson kind of took up the mantle of what he was doing, which was kind of in the public eye and explaining.
No pressure.
No pressure. God, yeah. So that's who he is, and and that's the personality that he is. So yeah, we didn't get what we wanted. I was happy to see him, but it wasn't what we wanted.
Which that makes sense though, because I remember when Gravity came out, he was I don't know if it was quote live tweeting, but he was tweeting about like, well, actually,
he covered that
never would have happened because of blah 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 300,000 miles in the.
Yeah, he covered that,
and like he does that for multiple movies. I've just seen on Twitter through whatever.
Two
Facebook
things I learned: he loves movies. Guy loves television and movies. Two, he really thinks people come down on him pretty hard for all of his tweets. He just wants the science to be correct. I was like, hey man, it's just a movie. Stop tweeting, bro. But yeah. So
oh yeah,
you're blowing this for me, dude.
But
wait, I'm curious. Did he address that? Because to be such a big fan of movies and to also call out the the suspended disbelief that as movie fans we all must put up with.
Well, he addressed it constantly, and the biggest time he addressed it was Contact, which was written by Carl Sagan.
Right. Really?
Yes.
The movie?
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Jodie
it was a book written by Carl Sagan and then adapted to a movie. So when it premiered, there were very intelligent scientists who went to go see the premiere, and Neil deGrasse Tyson was one of them. And there's a scene.
There was no Twitter at the time, unfortunately. Otherwise, we would have gotten some live tweeting.
Probably would.
Or fortunately.
I like that movie.
I liked that
it's
movie
good.
too.
Me too.
I haven't seen it in some time.
Remember you were showing me the opening scene, and it's like, how do they do that? The medicine chest.
Yeah, that wasn't the opening scene, but that was one of the scenes where they did some tricky camera work. Robert Zemeckis.
Anyway.
Zemeckis.
You know the scene where she finds her dad dead?
Yes.
Or suffering from a heart attack, not yet dead. And she
running.
runs up the stairs and the camera follows her and they turn the corner and then go through the mirror and then on the medicine cabinet. Yeah. It's pretty beautiful. But the opening shot is also amazing because it basically starts at Earth and then it expands. It's a one long shot that expands out through the galaxy. Yeah. But the soundscape is that of what you would hear on the radio from Earth as the time, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
yeah.
like by the time they're getting
Yeah.
out to Saturn, you're hearing
Yeah.
things from the 50s,
Right.
and then like
Oh,
you
yeah,
get
yeah,
like you hear
yeah.
the moon landing,
Right.
and then you get farther out, and it's older and older, and then it just goes to silence, and it ends after. I mean, we're talking like a 3, 4, 5 minute shot that ends in Jodie Foster's eyeball.
Yeah, I gotta see
Yeah.
it. I gotta watch it again.
She's
Me too.
so
It's really good.
hot.
Yeah, I know.
I would
She is
take
pretty
your
hot.
film class, Mike.
I could not teach a film class. I'm regurgitating
History
this
of
from,
film. History
from
of film.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
also
you can do
watched
that.
Contact 4 or 5 months ago.
I would
Oh,
listen.
okay.
I would listen to Mike talk
Yeah, me too.
on a podcast.
I would. I'd listen to Mike talk about movies more than I'd listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about movies.
I
I don't
wouldn't
know.
actually.
Because I don't like. I for one am just not a fan.
I mean, no offense.
No,
no offense.
I'm
I
just
would
not a
never,
fan
yeah.
of the fucking the. Oh, that wouldn't work.
Well,
That would never work.
well,
Are you kidding me? That's
This
so
is-
stupid.
this is what happened. He was at the premiere of Contact, and
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey uses this. Jodie Foster uses this equation, which was there are this many stars in the planet, and there are, I mean, in the planet, the fucking idiot. There are this many stars in the universe, and there are this many stars in our galaxy, and all these stars have a fucking idiot, and all these stars have planets, and how many of those planets are could be habitable by any type of life form.
Yeah, the odds
And-
are good.
And the odds are really good, and they were going through the equation, and they got the equation wrong. The person at the premiere who came up with that equation was watching the movie one row ahead of Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was sitting right in front of him, and Neil goes. So Jodie ends up saying, so literally there are millions and millions of planets just within our galaxy that could have intelligent life. And Neil is like, no, that's wrong. Actually, it's 0.0000004 planets in our galaxy that can have life.
Mhm.
And he goes, Frank, to the guy that made the equation. He's like, are you listening to this? And Frank goes, yeah, it's a movie. And Neil's
God
like,
bless.
Neil goes, oh.
Yeah, Frank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Frank's-
I like this
Frank's the
Frank
man.
guy.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I, because it's a fucking movie.
Yeah, however you want to tell it is how you want to tell it.
So basically, I give it a.
Oh yeah, we each
one-
have thumbs.
This
You
one,
guys can weigh in on Neil deGrasse Tyson as well.
one thumb
Wait,
down.
why do you have a thumb if you weren't there?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we can do
Oh,
everything.
Just
we want.
whatever I feel about Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh
One thumb.
man.
I don't know.
I still like him.
Wait, yeah. How do you feel about him in general?
Oh, in general, I'm
Yeah.
putting 2 thumbs, 2 toes, and my dick up for him.
Oh my
'cause
God.
he is
A hard dick too, not
Yeah.
those soft
Yeah,
dicks.
no, he is the man. He's the man.
Too soon.
Too soon. But yeah, he's the man. But for this, I'm giving the one thumb
Okay,
down.
so for his
Oh.
show.
All
All right,
For
then
the
I won't
show.
review his show.
For him, I'm just thumbs all the way up.
All right, so 4 thumbs up at least for Neil deGrasse Tyson. You guys got any thumbs for Neil?
I'd say thumb up. 2 thumbs up.
Two
Two
thumbs
thumbs
up.
up.
Oh, definitely up.
Yeah.
I like him.
Well, then we'll go with 1 thumb up and 1 thumb down for his traveling gig.
Listen to Star Talk, his podcast. It's very awesome. It's very informative, and
Thank
he has great guests, and he has and it's just an hour of him talking, blowing your
And he's
mind.
got
It's
such
an
a
hour of
smooth,
him
sultry
blowing your
voice,
mind.
you know? He's like Billy D, but of science.
He also
Billy
just
D.
has
Williams.
he has like this very joyous, like happy, infectious. Like
Yes.
he seems like he's constantly enjoying himself.
Yes. Yeah.
And reveling and sharing the information.
And the intelligence and the genius, it's actually there. Him doing math equations, or math, I don't even know if it's fucking math. It could be fucking anything. Astrophysics, I don't even know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Him doing this shit in his head live, like he goes, well, that's, and he just spits out some number, and everybody is like, okay, sure.
Yeah,
That seemed right.
I want to know who's live tweeting the Neil deGrasse Tyson performance, being like, actually,
no
Neil,
fucking way.
that's not true.
Yeah.
You know what? I see what you mean, though. Sometimes when you go to see your hero,
Yeah.
you really want them to, like, prepare.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
think
he-
about it.
He
Yeah.
has those shows. It's just it wasn't this
They're
show.
lectures.
It wasn't
They're not
this
shows.
like you gotta.
And they're at universities most likely.
He's just too famous at this point.
It sounds like it was the wrong setting. He should have just been like, it should have been like chilling at the grind, you know.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to get him in a coffee shop and just be like, hey Neil, fucking.
What would you wait?
Yeah,
what would be your one question for Neil deGrasse Tyson if you had him in a coffee shop? Both
and
of you.
what
I
would
would
you
want
him
him
to
to
be
get
wearing?
into detail about even more detail about his obsession with Isaac Newton, because he has a great story about Isaac Newton that I didn't know until he told it, which was he
on Cosmos. He got
into that, and then but you could tell he has a true obsession and a true passion for how intelligent he is, because he's the person that has said, "Who do you think is the most intelligent person ever lived?" And he said Isaac Newton, and because he just on a bet. This is a story he told. On a bet, he invented calculus. What did he invent? See, I'm just a dumb.
Newton invented?
Isaac Newton.
Invented calculus?
They invented, on a bet, he invented calculus because he said, this is how this works. And someone says, you need proof. How do you know? And he goes, okay. He came back like a week later and was like, boom, there it is.
Damn.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
What would you ask, Zach?
What would I ask Neil? Shit. I'd ask him, what is your
Favorite color?
What's
What's your favorite color?
If God exists,
It's
what would you want him to say?
Yeah, I like that one.
That is a good one.
That is a good one.
What science? Yeah, I would ask him what question he would ask God had he won.
That's a great...
Way better.
Mike Hamilton
See
question.
what I'm talking about, Mike?
Whoa, no,
Mike, I would listen.
I mean, that's way better than what's your favorite color.
Bro,
Jessica, whoa! For the record, Jessica just said that, and that's why I thought that.
But see, you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I pull what you're about to say out of your mouth and give it
he's
to
really
the
just
masses.
a poser.
He pulls it out. Yeah, he makes sense of it.
But you know what he did? I know his secret. He had the answer
It's like,
before he asked the question.
It's like
That's not true.
It's
That's
like
not
everybody
true.
is
Very
Mike's
true.
muse. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mike. I don't want to be your muse anymore, bro.
I would ask
I'm done with this.
Yeah, what would you ask, Jessica?
I would ask him about his relationship with his mother.
Yeah. I'd ask him about his relationship with Bill Nye, and then I'd say, do you have his phone number? Can you call him? Tell him to meet us here.
Okay, a kid. So that's a little weird. A kid had actually the best question in the talk back at the end. The kid was just like, "What do you think about Planet 9, which is the new Planet X, because Pluto's not a planet anymore?"
Oh yeah.
And they discovered that Planet 9 is actually real, and it was discovered by a person whose Twitter handle is actually Pluto Killer, because the person who discovered this planet is actually the person who proved that Pluto isn't a planet. So his
son of a bitch.
But his biggest discovery is that he figured out a way about doing math stuff that out in the way reaches math shit, way reaches of the solar system, there were comets that weren't behaving as they should, according to the laws of gravity. So through that, they were able to do math shit and physics and who the hell else knows?
Magical science.
Magic Thor stuff. And have you seen the movie Thor? They did Thor stuff, and they were able to show where the planet should be, and everything lines up. Everything's perfect, and they're all certain that this planet is there. They just can't see it yet. And Neil actually doesn't even consider it a part of the solar system because it's so far away, but it's about the size of Neptune, and it takes 10,000 years to orbit the sun.
Damn, that's a long year.
Yeah. 10,000 Earth years to orbit the sun.
Jesus.
So, I guess we should move on, right?
Wow.
Yeah, to our last segment.
But I mean, magnificent Tony. I like the way you speak about this thing.
It's interesting, but I know nothing about it. I'm a dumb D-bag in a basement. I want everybody out there to know.
No, he's right.
No, I have to. I am right. I have to say this just because I want people to understand that
I don't read.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just passionate about the things that are interesting to me. And like I said, I don't even know if it's math they're using to figure this shit out. Could be physics. Could be astrophysics.
Physics is a math-heavy science. I don't know if you knew that.
Is it?
Yeah. There's a lot of math that goes into physics.
Is calculus?
I don't know. I took physics in 11th grade. My teacher was hot.
I failed every math course after 9th grade.
Did you just ask Zach, Tony, if No, let me get this
Moving
right.
on, we got
Actually,
Tony, did
you did say the title of our next segment, which is Ask Zach.
Did you just ask Zach
and Tony
if calculus is a math-heavy science?
I don't believe it is.
Oh.
I believe math is completely...
we'll have to go back to the tape on that one.
Yeah.
God, I don't know.
Is calculus a math-heavy science?
Well, I don't know, because isn't geometry like not math?
It's angles.
It's like proving.
Calculus is mathematics.
Yeah.
Is calculus mathematics?
Yes.
I mean, there's a calculator.
Are we certain?
They teach it in high school.
Under
so
mathematics.
They teach physics in high school too, but physics isn't mathematics.
Under science.
I don't think I had to take that.
I don't know if I had to either, but the teacher was hot.
I actually think I don't.
You're welcome.
I took all the stupid math courses. I actually think physics is not considered mathematics.
No, it's science. But there's a lot of math that goes into physics.
That's semantics. I think we're just talking in circles right now.
I think we're just saying the same thing.
Yeah, we're all on the same page.
Yeah, we get it. We're on page 12. So
you guys are fun.
We're on the page with the most pictures.
Yeah. It's also a pop-up book. It has to be.
Oh, I love pop-ups.
Yeah, it has to be for me.
Too. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, real quick for Ask Zach and Tony.
Because I butt in.
This is the part of the show where we get our guests to ask us a question from a Cosmo magazine or a Glamour magazine that a young lady writes in to get some professional advice from either, editors or sex therapists or something along those lines. And we like for our guests to chime in as well if they have any relationship or sex or whatever advice. Usually this gets into porn, but I handed over our Cosmo magazine. It's fresh, so there's no sticky pages, Jessica Ann, just so you know.
I don't mind.
If you're going to talk porn,
child.
Jessica Ann used to work for a porn website.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it was just a little freelance.
Oh my
gig.
God, the way already her talking about it with your voice. It's like
She doesn't have
the
children,
most innocent voice talking about like her experience. But okay, go ahead.
Freelancing, yes. Please go on. Shut up, Tony.
Go
Shut up.
on.
No, seriously. Yeah, I will shut up.
Well, I have some friends who work full-time at Mr. Skin.
I know it.
I've heard of it, yes.
Yeah, and
I've been there.
I have not been there.
Come on, yes you have.
No, I actually haven't.
You haven't?
I mean, it's very popular. I know it's
very.
very popular. I've never been there.
You've got to go. But so I was doing some freelance writing for Mr. Skin. I was writing some bios and some reviews, and it was really interesting delving into the world of copywriting. Like they give you like the tone and like these like buzzwords that you have to use. Like they use like skin as a word, like as an adjective, like she's skintastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like and they're really into alliteration. Like everything is like the mesmerizing Mercier.
Man, you're really good at this.
I don't. What is it? Mesmerize.
The scandalous Slim Slither.
Yes, slithers her.
Sultry, sexy, smooth.
Anyway,
Kind of sounds like the
Skintastic
paragraphs I've
Scarlett
seen.
Johansson.
But basically, my point is that so all day I was watching porn.
Well, were you watching porn or were you watching movies for nude scenes? Because I know that's
I
Mr.
fell
Skin's
down
focus.
the hole.
Okay, well, of course,
there's also porn there.
That's
Did you become desensitized? Yeah, the celebrity tapes.
No, never desensitized. Never. It was.
You were
I
horrified
was
at every turn.
masturbating like 20 times a day.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well-
and you never got desensitized?
Yes.
No, never.
Have we?
At least at the end of the day, I am.
Have any of
You know,
the-
you gotta
have
sleep
any
it off
of the- have
eventually.
any of us at this table? It's a good question if you've gotten desensitized because it was your job, but have we? Because I know. Let's be honest. Human beings, especially at this table, we masturbate like it's our job. And I think that's what makes us more normal. than
Yeah,
everybody
Mike.
I wouldn't say that that's true about me.
else. About 2 times a week for me.
2 times a week?
That's
Amateur.
nothing, yeah.
Man, I'd
3.
fire your ass if that was
Well,
your
it
job.
used to be way more, but I brought it back down.
Yeah,
I
I go
brought-
through ebbs and flows, that's for
I
sure.
brought-
Yeah.
Certainly if I worked for a porn site, God, forget it. I mean, there's procrastination at any job or task that I'm given.
Yeah.
Well, you're
I
not.
mean, it relieves
jerking
stress,
off at work.
You know?
Yeah, I am. Anyway,
I believe that actually.
I've been to his office. It's sticky.
it's also like pretty private. Like I have my own office.
But you're obviously
Anyway.
not. Are you honestly jerking off at work?
Yeah.
You are not.
Yeah.
This is so ridiculous.
Well, you know, you go into the bathroom, you know, and then.
Oh my God, Zach Finch.
Hey, he's being honest.
Well, you know what?
It's a long day, okay? It's a long day to fill.
I learn new things about you every day.
And then I do things after work. You know, there's hardly any time other than being at work, you know? So it's... Anyway, what's the question?
We got into porn before
Oh,
the
before
question was
the
even
question.
fucking asked. Before the question was even fucking asked, we got into porn.
It's okay.
Now people have turned it up. My mom can't listen to this one.
Yes,
Oh,
you
yes,
can.
come
We-
on.
All right, we'll pop in and say, Teresa, turn it off now.
This
Well,
is a good place to pop in.
Teresa, 10 minutes ago, turn it off before you hear the Zach jerks off at work.
Yeah, and then never visit me at work.
Like, it's an office and you go into the handicap stall?
The handicap stall? I mean, I don't need the handicap stall. Obviously, it's more... it's a little more
so
luxurious.
Conscious. He's so conscious of the people that are going to be using the bathroom.
I think it might be wrong to masturbate at work.
Jessica.
Every
hey.
job
Yeah.
I've ever been at,
Really?
almost.
I would never expect you to hear you say that.
You're so sexually open.
I am sexually open. Well, if you can find a private place, it's fine.
It's not like I'm doing it while there's a guy next to me in the stall or anything like that.
Okay.
It helps.
You know what I mean?
But...
I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
think
would be nice.
I'm more concerned. You never know who's hiding cameras.
That's true, bro.
That is true.
Yeah.
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 It helps.
I mean, but I usually tape every session.
Oh my God. All right.
Oh, sure.
Let's ask the question so we can get off this topic.
Oh, you mean on to this topic?
Oh,
off
we're
this
going
topic
right back on
and onto
it.
that topic.
Straddle it.
Ride it
Well,
hard.
As a fourth wave feminist, this is disgusting, but I can read it. It says, "What happens if you have to poop at a guy's, what is gender,
Yeah, what
at
is
a
gender?
guy's house? If I hold it, I feel bloated and achy, and I don't want to have sex. Should I just tell him?
Okay.
Does the girls don't poop mentality still exist for guys?"
I gotta get on this.
I love
Makes
how
me
you ended
angry.
in that voice. That's exactly what I
This
wanted
question
you to
makes
do.
me angry. You're right to be angry about this.
You should be angry at this. And every time we do this segment, both Tony and I are like, are these real questions? Or are these like some
editor.
poor like writer's job to come up with stupid ass questions
Yeah.
for somebody else to answer?
Go ahead.
You got to get a little silly with it because that's what this is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I now that I've prefaced that, it's not going to be funny. Damn it.
Well, can I butt
Because
in?
that's what this
So
is all
are
about.
we answering the question?
We're gonna
Yeah.
try our best.
Okay.
We're gonna
So-
try our best.
So,
fun.
from what I can remember, because I kind of drifted off a little bit because I was also getting angry at the question. We kind of picked them at random, but I saw the word poop and I was like, "This is going to be the question." But why poop at a guy? Can you poop at a guy's house if you're about to have sex with that guy? Is that essentially the
Yes.
question, the long and the short of
What happens if you have to poop at a guy's house? If I hold it, I feel bloated and achy, and I don't want to have sex. Should I just tell him? Oh my God!
it? Find a way to work it into the
girls
action.
don't
You
poop
know.
mentality still exist for
Exactly.
guys? Okay. Go ahead, Zach, because I'm about ready to blow up at this book.
Jesus. Just like this girl in this
She's
situation.
about ready to blow up, too.
Well, what is gender?
Well, I wish she
What
would.
is gender? And what if she was at a girl's house trying
Also,
to get down and nasty with a girl? Would she
just-
feel uncomfortable pooping at a girl's house she's about to bang?
It's such a
Good
stupid
question.
question. It's such a stupid question because, like you said, it should be. This is a feminist thing. People poop. If you gotta poop, fucking poop.
Yeah.
Don't write crap like this. No pun intended.
Crap.
like this is crap. Poop.
Yeah,
She
just
poops.
poop.
He poops. And
Yeah.
then you two go have sex. I don't think there's an issue here,
No.
right?
No, yeah, I agree.
Yes, it is a sexist question.
Mhm.
Yes, kudos to pointing that out. Sorry.
Do females poop?
Such a
You know,
stupid. And this is
I've
an
often
adult
wondered.
magazine. This is a fucking adult magazine. This is a cosmopolitan.
It's cosmopolitan.
It's for adults, but you know that 15 to 17-year-old girls are the ones who are reading it.
I guess. I don't know.
So, okay, yeah, so the question is like, oh my god, I have to move my bowels and I'm embarrassed because it's going to take a long time. It's going to
He's gonna know,
smell.
right?
It could
He's
be
going to
stink.
know.
He can hear it.
I don't know what to say when I come out of there. Should I lie? So it's like this whole thing is going on in my mind. Like, do I take the poo?
Ugh.
Maybe
Poo.
I'll just say, hey, honey, if I don't poo, then I can't have sex. So you want me to poo?
Right.
You could.
Yes.
You could
Mm.
That's what she's
attack
saying.
it head on.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Which I would prefer a girl do that to me than skirt around this. Go poop. I'm gonna go poop. I'm gonna go poop.
Yeah.
Also, in my mind, it doesn't need to be labeled.
Yeah, go to the bathroom.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
I'm going
Just
to
go to
use
the
the
bathroom.
restroom.
Yeah.
What I do in there,
Yeah.
we don't need to discuss.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would leave out that last part though,
Well, that shook
Yeah.
everything.
Why would you leave it out?
because then that's just ominous. It's like, what are you? Now it's like, what are you doing in there?
Yeah, if that's the case, then you have to say it every single time.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. What I'm doing in there, we don't have to discuss.
Just imagine yourself saying, this might take a while.
Make yourself comfortable.
You took me to Big Star.
Should we give her actual advice?
I think that
Without-
everything that
without
we did
being-
was actual
well,
advice. We didn't even
I
make
pretty
a
much
joke
just
of it.
got really angry and yelled. And what if the person is actually
Well,
asking?
we
for
got
advice?
mad. We got mad at the magazine,
Yes.
assuming that it is not one person listening to this podcast that really wants to know the answer to the question.
If
Yes.
you're struggling with this issue,
Mm-hmm.
grow up a little. Grow a pair of balls or bigger vaginal lips.
Or something. Whatever.
or the
physicality.
female equivalent,
Yeah.
I guess.
If-
What is gender?
What is gender?
What is gender?
And fucking go take a blast the Duke.
Yeah,
Blast the Duke and get down.
If anyone that you're spending time with, whether it be long time or short time or one time or maybe
Right.
not even any time, if they're freaked out by you digesting, then
they're not worth
they're
hanging out
mean,
with.
Then you need
horrible
to move along.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Yes.
This
Yeah,
is not
yeah.
cool. If you hold in your poo, you die.
Yes.
Exactly.
One time, I worked all day, and then I went to some show, and I had a burger and a beer on an empty stomach, and it really did a number on me. And I was on the Purple Line home, and I mean, all of a sudden, like, I'm sweating, I'm shaking, like, you know, when you just, like, you're really uncomfortable, and, like, you need to get this out of you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was like, I really was like, this is it. What if I die? And I got off of the train. It's like a Purple Line, late
I've been
at
there.
night. I don't know.
Express,
am I-
like no stops.
Or it's like, am I Jarvis? Am I where am I? This is not where normal people live.
I've been there.
I'm like, okay. There's no bathroom in the train station. I don't see any coffee shops. I'm going in the alley. I'm going in the alley. I stand in the alley and I don't make it. And I, like an Alzheimer's patient, like just shit. I mean, it was just shit my pants, filled my pants. It's coming down my legs. It's all, I feel it in my shoes and my, like,
Good
it's,
for you.
it's bad. And I called my husband and
God.
I was upset. I was like, this is what happened. You need to stop whatever you do. You need to get me. He stopped what he was doing, something very important. He drove and he got me. He had these newspapers on the seat and like it smelled really bad. Like it was like a thing. But I was like, I can't just like sit here getting a rash in my own shit and get back on the train. I had to call the person that I love and I had to say, get me out of my shit.
I would like to say something. God bless you,
Yeah.
Jessica Ann,
I'm very open.
for being alive you're quickly becoming one of my favorite human beings. But because on it, like, I'm an open book, and obviously Zach is too. And my you could listen, no judgment ever for me. But I love when people tell personal stories like this because it makes them way more normal to me.
That's why we watch Louis C.K.
Yeah, it kind of well.
You saw that episode where he just did it in his pants.
Yep. Like
it's gonna happen. So
eventually,
you telling that story and the stories you have told throughout this podcast normalizes you as a human being to me. When people are more open about stuff like this, it really I appreciate that human being.
Well, I hope whoever wrote that question is listening, and I hope they're saying to themselves, "Thank God there's a toilet in arm's reach."
Yeah.
At least I'm not trapped on a train.
Yeah. I would just tell her, shit on his chest.
Exactly.
Cleveland steamer.
Yeah.
You should do it once.
Now I could take this to the bathroom, but before I do, I just want to throw it out there. Would you like it on your chest?
Would you like it on your chest? Is it called the Cleveland steamer? Is that actually what it is?
Well, the steamer is when you shit on the chest and then you rock back and forth in it. There might be another name for just pure shitting on chest.
I'm just speaking for myself. That stuff just doesn't do it for me. I don't know not to put down anybody who's listening. Or that's stuff. I can't get into it.
Oh, Teresa, we've reached the point where
hey, Mom. You'll be happy to know I don't like it when people shit on my chest.
Oh, Teresa.
So you'll be happy to know that it's not my thing.
True story. I know somebody who was a proposition to give a glass bottom boat at a bar one time.
What is that?
You're gonna have to explain that one for me.
Right. I needed it explained to me. A person came up to this guy and said, "I will give you $2,000 if you glass bottom boat me," which means that he would go to that person's place. That guy has a glass see-through coffee table. The receiver who is paying the money would lay underneath the table, and I don't know, do whatever he likes to do. And the giver who is receiving the money would squat on top of the table and take a shit onto the glass.
Was it a girl or a guy who was pooping?
The person receiving it, that's the important part here. The person receiving the money is the one on top of the table.
Yeah.
Just taking the shit.
The dump.
No physical touch, no physical contact.
But someone's watching.
But the person is literally underneath the table doing whatever they do underneath. Just getting off on you pooping above them.
Straight up watching your butthole open and poop coming out.
You gotta pay for poop.
That's what he's jerking off to.
You gotta pay for poop.
Or that's what she's fucking doing her thing too.
Unless
whoa.
That blew my mind.
Wait, you don't have to say a name, but this is somebody that you knew was propositioned with this? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Propositioned, but they didn't take it up.
Was it a guy or a girl?
It was a male. In this case, it was a male propositioning a male, and they did not take them up on it. But would you, for $2,000, would you go to someone's apartment who you didn't really know at all, take a poop on their table, and walk out with $2,000 cash?
Whoa.
Depends on the day.
Yeah, I have to think about it.
I know myself. I would not. I would not. But it's a lot of money
because you can't poop on command.
It's just too much for me. It's too awkward. It's an awkward thing, and it's not enough money. Like, listen, if it's not enough money,
name your price.
And also, the type of person who's asking for that, who's probably a sexually repressed person, right? He can't. This is not a normal thing.
Or sexually liberated if they
were
in touch with what they want.
But the chances are there. It might be a crazy person. It could be. Not saying it is. It might be a crazy person going back alone to this person's apartment, guy or girl. Like this person's apartment. It's
could have a lot of weird shit.
A lot of weird shit. A lot of weird shit could happen.
Pun not intended.
He or she would have to offer me $20,000.
$20,000.
$20,000.
Wow. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I'm putting the number up there.
At least 10.
20. Nope. 20 grand.
In case they haggle and bring you down to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I wouldn't do it for 10. You know what? I wouldn't believe it. Number one, I wouldn't believe them.
Yeah.
Like, where's the money coming from?
What if
2,000 cash? How are you getting this money? Is it a cashier's check? Like, this is like, $2,000
is not that hard to come by.
I mean, maybe people who are looking through tables at people taking shits. How do we know if they have $2 grand?
They're probably an eccentric millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's
So they can afford $20,000 then for me to take a shit on their table.
Good point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you really got to hold out.
What's your price?
Well, I
Would
was
you
going
do
to
it
say
for
$200, but
this is the guy who jerked off at work.
I just want
For nothing.
But would you do it for 2 or would you?
2,000?
Yeah.
I probably would, but now that we've already gone and discussed it, I would need to start high. But I would feel fine getting haggled down for 2,000. Walking out with $2,000 cash, that's like 3 months rent or some shit, you know?
I
3 or 4.
can't wait till I have money so I don't have to answer these questions.
What would you say? Yes. How would you feel about it, Jessica?
I wouldn't do it just because
Me
it's
too.
sexual and I'm in a committed relationship and I would feel
Fair enough.
like
Yeah,
it
so am
wasn't
I.
fair.
Like, okay, none of us would do it then, but
I guess that's true.
What
if you weren't in a
Now
committed
that
relationship.
What if you had Kurt's blessing?
You know, maybe
What?
or if we're going back and I'm like in college, yeah, I think I would be nervous at first and then I would do it all the time. Really?
Actually, that was a lot of fun. Here's my number.
Because-
If you have $2,000 more dollars,
because
give me a call.
they keep on inviting you back because you did a good
So
job.
good at it, yeah.
And $2 grand. On Christmas they give you a $500 bonus. Thanksgiving and Christmas.
As
Couple
long as
trays
there's
of-
consent, you know.
Yeah.
And a tray of X-Lax.
A tray of X-Lax and a little fried chicken.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? You got it all planned out. Just yeah, 2 girls, 1 cup still grosses me out.
Oh yeah, I don't like watching it.
Two-
I'm not paying for it. I'm doing it.
But that was the thing. at
That's
one point.
completely different.
No, it's not.
They put
In
it
their
in
mouth.
their mouth.
But the poop actually, it makes me puke right when the pooping happens.
Wait, you puked watching 2 Girls, 1 Cup?
No, the first time.
Loser.
First time I watched it was with Joe and Trevor and Donnelly, and they built it up to be like
Oh,
the
you
worst
gotta
thing
watch
ever.
this.
And then they showed it to me, and I was like, I'm fine, I'm cool. And then, like 15 minutes later, Joe and Trevor, I think, and then Donnelly showed up, and then Donnelly was Andrew and Daba was watching it, and I had to watch it for a second time. I left after like 30 seconds because then I was about to throw up.
I don't think
the
I
second
know
time.
what it is.
It's a scat video. Scat porn.
Yeah, it's a.
2 girls pooping on
It was
each
a
other,
challenge at one
smothering
point.
it on each other.
It was a challenge at one
right,
point to watch
eating
this.
it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Their
and
own poop.
It became like a internet sensation of like even videos of people watching the video
Yeah.
without showing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am
I
out
only
of the loop.
Reaction videos.
I only-
This is years ago.
I only made it through like 20 seconds or 15 seconds till they really started
I
getting
never
into
watched
it.
the whole thing.
It's awful.
It's awful. It's
Yeah.
awful. So awful.
It's not very fun.
But that's completely different. If you were talking about that, my price would be in the millions.
What if you didn't have to eat it, but he wanted to eat it?
No one's eating it. No one's eating it.
You brought up 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
No, but on the table, no one's eating it.
Well, yes.
Right.
But if we moved towards 2 girls, 1 cup, a la eating it,
The price is exponentially going through the roof.
Yeah.
even if you don't have to eat it?
Yes.
What if you don't even have to watch the
That's in my mind.
I'm not eating
the
it.
glass bottom boat is cut and dry. Come in.
20 grand.
You're not touching the other person at
That's
all. Drop your load, grab your load, and get out of there.
Such a
You gotta,
man,
yeah,
that was wrong.
listen.
That was wrong.
connotative
But
word.
we should say for the record that scatologicalness,
The word?
Scatological passion.
Tendencies.
is a true and real part of many people's identities, and it's
Just not
It
really
should-
any
Not
of us.
for me.
Yeah.
but it should
Not
be
for me.
respected, right? Like if that's some
yeah,
people
sure.
do that
Listen, I'm not gonna shake your hand, but I'm
But
dumped.
I'll give you a polite nod.
But I'll
and
give
a
you,
little wave.
I'll give you a good nod.
Yeah, but also, snuff is also a part of some
See,
people's
No.
sex.
now we
It's-
know.
cocaine.
No.
No, God, we're getting
getting
deep
dark
now.
now,
We're getting
yeah.
dark. So,
I thought you worked in the porn industry.
so like
I probably know what it is. I just don't know the slang.
we all have a clear idea of what is immoral and immoral. Like snuff porn is immoral.
Snuff porn
obviously.
is like after or
Furries.
during sex, sex, you
Kill
someone's
the
killed.
person.
Oh, that, yeah.
It's what that movie Nicolas Cage
8
made.
millimeter.
8 millimeter. It was what it's based off of.
Oh.
I don't even know. Fuck, I don't want to talk about it. It's creepy
brutal.
out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so,
I was just
we-
being devil's
So
advocate.
that's
Devil's
wrong.
advocate.
We've
I know.
we've gone above and beyond here today, guys. You guys have been great. I appreciate it.
See, we asked the hard questions.
Yeah, I'm glad that we went there.
So if you want to see Mike Mother,
For all this and more, go see Mike Mother.
If you're still interested in Mike Mother, which
You
is
should be.
a great show.
It's getting great reviews.
We're
and
not
I think
gonna-
I'm seeing it this weekend.
Yeah, we're not gonna get the hard right-wing religious on this show, guys. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's
but
because you guys don't know anyone.
Mike Mother
anybody
at the
listen to it.
Neo-Futurarium with the Neo-Futurists at 5153 North Ashland Avenue
Yes.
in Andersonville, Chicago, Illinois, now through June 4th.
Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturday nights at 7:30.
You heard that, motherfucker. That Mike Mother.
Yes.
And quick reminder, mancallnoon.com for Man Call Noon, my band I'm the lead singer of. Please come to our show June 12th, Sunday, 4 p.m. South Stage, Ribfest, Chicago, Ribfest, Chicago. It's going to be great. We've never played a street festival before. We're going to have a good time. We're going to get drunk, and we're going to have a good time. And also July 1st for House of Blues. We're pre-selling tickets. We got a pre-sale a lot. Come to me, come to anybody in the band. Josh Fontenot, Dave Aiken, Nathan Crone, Aaron Petrowski, Stephanie Aiken, and Stephanie Lane Aiken, and James Mano. Buy tickets off us. And for Zach,
Speaking of James Manny Mano, James Manny Mano and the BOTs, that's short for the Big Old Titties, are going to play June 4th at the store. So come out to that. You don't need to hunt us down to buy tickets, although you should do that for Man Called Noon as well. Also, just check all that stuff out on Facebook. You probably know where it is, though. All 4 or 5 or maybe 10 to 25 of you.
Yeah.
But all right.
And when is your book coming out?
Oh, yes. Anything else?
April 2017, my book,
Ooh.
A Manual for Nothing, is coming out via
Awesome.
Noemi Press.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Mike, do you have anything else as well?
No.
Well, look up these fools, I guess, on social media if you want as well. I don't know if you guys are out there, but probably are.
Yeah.
I know that you are, and I just friended you. That's it.
that's it, right?
I think. Thank you.
Thanks
and,
for having us,
If
guys.
someone
Thank you.
propositions you with some poop, consider it.
You gotta come up with a sign out. You know how I have I love you, ciao.
Okay.
You gotta come up with a sign out. For
You
this
say I
show.
love you, Chow?
I love you, ciao. For one man, 2 beers,
Is
3
that
questions.
is that in pen or is that
It's in pencil. Wait, what are we talking about here?
nothing? Nothing. It's good. It's good. Yep.
Yeah, you gotta come up with like a cool sign out. You don't have to. You come up with a cool sign off. I'm Zach, suck a dick, or
All right, here we go.
well.
Yeah. No.
Maybe
This
you
is
should put
good.
some
No.
thought. Okay, go for
Whatever
it.
comes to you.
I'm Zach. Suck a dick. Damn it. That's all right.
Oh my god.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
I'm Zach, apple pie.
That wasn't me.
I'm down if you are too. You're carrying all the hate, I'm carrying a grudge I got to lose. On a walk to get to the ride, you're all screams in the night, but nothing is a return, just the echoing what it learned. Oh, come on, let's just dance tonight, because everyone is lonely in the modern light. Well, oh, come on, let's just dance tonight, because everyone is lonely in the modern light. Into the car on the street, corner is where the rest of us meet. Hindsight is 20/20, but you're always mad dog when you're out of money. Before we get to the door, I long drag a smoke that I roll, because outside the club, everyone's cool, it's quietly smug. Oh, come on, let's just dance tonight, because everyone is lonely in the morning light. Well, oh, come steps to my freedom. All the doubt that we face, all the will of our mistakes. That's the dark side of dawn. Sometimes letting go is holding on. Oh, come on, let's just dance tonight, because everyone is lost.